a little George Clooney story myself. I'm about to name drop, and it's a good name. It's not like, oh look, there's David Hasselhoff. That's lame dropping. But that, no, I actually did a movie with him, so I'm the biggest lame dropper of all. Yes, I mentioned that too. Yeah, I did it. Whatever. That's okay. It's a flashback. So George Clooney was Richard Kind's best man at his wedding. Do you know who Richard Kind is? Okay. So he's on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and he was on a bunch of shows. Anyway, so I was invited to his wedding, and at the end of like this ceremony, everyone was lined up to kiss the best man. Like, you were so good in the wedding. He's ridiculously handsome. Like, you say stupid things and be like, "What's your favorite color?" 9. And he's so handsome. It's totally ridiculous. Who is? Did you have and I'm the worst celebrity. Celebrity. Hi, I just want to have a shirt that says famous in the 90s. And although I do have a lot of, I used to do this thing if every 8-year in the world, if every major day in the world were 8 years old, I could get in anywhere. But now they're all like grown up at 22 and hot, and they hit on me. It's exciting. But what was I going to tell you? The celebrity. Oh, so some celebrities are very intimidating. But I'm the kind of celebrity where fans eventually say to me, "I've got to go." I just wanted the one picture. This man in the corner, Jared, said that he went and bought an iPhone yesterday and he tried to put his name in 10 times and it did not come out correctly once. Thank you very much. It came out anus, didn't it? All right. So again, with the name dropping, I was in Winnipeg 2 weeks ago, and Winnipeg. You're from Winnipeg? Good for you. I was about to say which part, like I knew anything other than the Winnipeg.
North End.
The North End. Oh, I was there, and totally lovely. I don't know, what is that anywhere near? Anyway, I thought this girl was so hilarious and funny, and she's from Toronto, so I was like, oh, get her to do this. And I thought this was very cute. Her name is Rebecca Kohler, and she introduced herself to me. She goes, "Kohler, like the toilet." And I was like, good self-esteem, sister. Okay. We all have low self-esteem. No one can ever take a compliment. If you ever give someone a compliment, they either totally dismiss it, or they confess something horrible about themselves that you would never have known. You have a beautiful smile. No, my back tooth is completely black. No, seriously, look, the root died. I don't know what happened. The whole stone's dead. Look at it. And you can never say to a woman, "I love your dress." It was $1. No, I bought it at Winners 8 years ago. Do you love it? I've never even washed it. Anyway, please welcome the very funny Rebecca Kohler.
I've got to go, Carolyn. Hi, everyone. How's it going? Excellent. It's great to be here. This is such a good cause. This is an amazing cause. Give it up for effing LAM. That's how I talk. Okay, so I'm Rebecca, and I love meat. Do we have any meat lovers in here? Yes! Okay, good. Because, nowadays it's almost like politically incorrect to like meat, I feel like. But I love meat, and recently I was like, okay, I love meat so much, I think I've got to go see a specialist. So I found a butcher, and I started going to this butcher, and it's been amazing. He has really good meat. But the thing with the butcher is that he's Italian, okay? Do we have any Italians in the room? Okay, don't get too excited. I'm gonna make a stereotype about you, but it's good. I think that Italian men might have special powers, okay? Because my butcher can say things to me that no one else would be able to get away with, okay? But he can, I'll give you some examples. I go in there a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, "Hi, can I get one Italian sausage, please?" And granted, I'm kind of setting myself up, but I'm cooking for one, so I'm not going to buy 8 sausages just to avoid an awkward situation. So I go in. I'm like, "Hi, can I get one Italian sausage?" And he's like, "1 sausage? What are you going to do with 1 sausage?" And I'm like, "What?" I think I'm going to put it in my mouth. No, I mean, crushing and melting, you know. I go in another time. I'm like, hi, can I get a couple chicken breasts? He's like, you want some breasts? You want big ones? You want little ones? I say, I get some big ones. That's okay. He's like, big ones? It's too bad, because I like them small. And I'm like, what? I'm making enchiladas. So, like, I have to dress up when I go there now. I'm like, hi, but I was thinking about, I was like, is it because he's Italian or is it just because he's a butcher, you know? Because I see him rubbing meat, you know? I'm like, he'd give a good back massage. I don't know, like, there's something about the meat and it's raw and it's there. Then I thought, no, it's because he's Italian, because if I went to Loblaws at the butcher counter and there was some, like, pasty, waspy guy, and I asked for one sausage, and he was like, what are you gonna do with one sausage? I would be like, excuse me? What the fuck? I'm trying to grocery shop and you're harassing me? Is your manager here? Like, I would not be into that. You know, but it's the Italian, he owns it. He owns the harassment. You know? He's basically like, are you gonna fuck that sausage? And if you do, I'd like to watch. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, so kudos to him. So I love meat. I also love Google. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but I think that Google is this tool that we have now that we totally take for granted. Like, do you remember 15 years ago? I don't know how I did anything or got anywhere. You know what I mean? The other day I Googled what was life like before Google, and my computer just exploded. It was like, nobody, why would you even wonder that? You're an idiot. But see, it can help you with anything. You know, last year my bike broke. My bike's orange, by the way, just so you know. Yay! And her name's Marcy. Anyway, so Marcy broke, and I was like, I don't want to pay some asshole to fix this. So I Googled the problem, and I fixed my own bike. I'm a woman, okay? I fixed a bike. Last week I was craving risotto. I was like, I don't know how to make risotto. So I Googled, where can I order risotto? Delicious risotto ensued, okay? Also recently, it's embarrassing, but I've been a little broke. I needed to make some extra money. So I Googled, how do I make crystal meth? And I'm rich. It's actually way easier than risotto. Anyway, so that's cool, but sometimes I think the problem is I become too dependent on Google, and sometimes it doesn't do what we want it to, and we get upset. At least I do. And I have a specific story. I have an iPhone, thank you, I know, and the pictures, I couldn't get the pictures off my iPhone onto my computer. And by the way, that's another thing. Do you think about how we walk around with like cameras all the time? Or like you see people having sex on the street, click, click, you know? Like in the old days, you'd be like, I saw some people having sex on the street. People would be like, shut up, you're crazy, you're lying. You're a crazy liar. Now you're like, look, shut up, bitch. So, anyway, I was trying to get these porno photos off my phone onto my computer, and it wasn't working. So I Googled, how do I get photos off the iPhone? And this is another thing that I love about Google, because someone else had Googled it. It came right in the drop-down menu. And I love that. I feel like that brings us together as a people, because when you see what other people have Googled, like the other day I Googled, why are some farts hot? And all I had to write was, why are some farts hot was an option. And that made me feel less alone in my digestive issues. So sometimes you eat the wrong thing. It's like you could poach an egg in your pants. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so, yeah, I said it. I'm a woman. Okay, so I Googled, how do I get photos off the iPhone? I'm so sorry. They think I'm gross. And someone else had Googled it, drop-down menu, brought me straight to a forum where the question is, how do I get photos off the iPhone? And this was the first response from a guy named Jay Hollington. The iPhone manual says that the photo should appear when you connect the iPhone to your computer. Not having an iPhone myself, I'm not sure how this works. Jay Hollington. I'm glad you chimed in. First of all, why do you have an iPhone manual if you don't have an iPhone? Okay, that's just creepy. I picture this guy's apartment is full of like IKEA instructions, but no furniture. You know, he's like, oh, the Flügenhögen, I can assemble that. Anyway, but moreover, why are you going to a forum to answer a question you know nothing about? It makes me, does he just like go to forums and shoot the shit? You know, like, well, I have things to say, you know? Like knitting.com. Someone's like, how do I do the purl stitch? Jay Hollington. Not being a knitter myself, I'm not sure how to do that stitch, but I have a sweater. Or let's say menstruation.com. Let's just pretend that exists. Some little girl's like, I'm 13, I just got my first period. I'm scared. Jay Hollington. Not having a vagina myself. I'm not sure what you're going through, but I like vaginas. Very much. I have some candy. Inappropriate. So, I think I'm going to trap Jay Hollington. I'm going to start my own forum. The question's going to be, how can I be more of an irritating douchebag? Jay Hollington will stumble across my forum. He'll answer, finally, a question I know something about. Anyway, I should probably go soon, but I wanted to talk briefly about balls. It's always a good way to end the night. They're like a period. 2 of them. So, guys, I gotta be honest. I'm a 34-year-old woman. I've handled enough balls in my life that you would think that woman knows what to do with balls. But you'd be wrong. Misconception. Balls are so weird, okay? And also, I don't have them, so I can't practice. Do you know what I mean? And recently I was talking to a guy friend about like sexual encounters, and we were giving tips. You know, I was like, cut your fingernails. And then he... I know this is like people wearing ties. I'm sorry, but yet, you know what I'm talking about. So I gave him that advice. He said, get the balls involved. Whatever you do, make sure to get the ball. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get the balls involved. That's cool. I failed to ask him how. Because they're so, okay, first of all, they're hard and soft at the same time. You're like, I can't get a grasp on the texture. It's like if a walnut and a prune had a baby, that would be a balls. You know, you're like, okay, I'll try to deal with this. And then also, I know they're sensitive, but you're supposed to touch them, right? So I'm like, what if I hurt them? You know, like, I'm like, should I pet these? Is that, I'm so cute, your balls. Can I call them Elmo? You know, he's like, get out of my bed. I feel like I'm a pedophile. So, then I'm like, I guess I could cup them, you know, but then what, like, you're supposed to cup me, you have to squeeze, you know, so I'm like, what if I squeeze too hard, you know, and he's like, oh, and I'm like, oh, he likes that, he likes it when I squeeze him. He's like, it's too awkward to tell her, but, and then he just passes out. I usually just end up like David Bowie in the movie Labyrinth, you know, I'm like... Anyway, 2 more things. I gotta go. I just saw the light. But, there's always like 4 weird hairs on the balls, you know? I'm like, maybe you could wax that, you know? But then I picture waxing a balls, and the skin is so weird, I don't think the wax would detach. You know, they'd be like, oh, the balls are in Toronto, we're in Etobicoke. We don't know what. It's just like a big pizza dough, you know, and then they let it go, and the guy's like, oh! The old man part of the boy too, like I could be cougary and bring like a 20-year-old home and be like, oh my god, you're so hot, do you work out? And then, ew, 84, you know? It's like they time traveled without him. They're like, hello, madam. Pass me my monocle. And I know you're supposed to put them in your mouth, okay? I know. It's so awkward, you know, sometimes they don't fit. You're like, sexy. Do you have a shoehorn? And then sometimes they do fit, and that's just as awkward. You're like, have a great time. Thank you. You guys, you've been so much fun. Thank you so much, and good for you for coming.
Rebecca Kohler and her dissertation on balls. It's so funny. Are you okay? You're already mentally apologizing. I'm sorry about the ball stuff. They loved it. And some of the men get to see theirs on holidays, so don't worry. The real women went, And just one final note about balls. We can see you when you adjust them, okay? Make a tiny bit of effort to distract us. Oh my God, there's George Clooney. Where? And then do whatever it is. What does the squeeze do? Does that just like rehydrate your whole system? It's just see a man like, ow. You're like, ow! It looks so painful. You're never gonna see a woman go like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. Let me tell you, we have bras that they're up here. There's like a whole baby bum here. We don't adjust in front of you. La 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 la